What's up YouTube? Mike from Mass here, Mass Aquariums. And in tonight's video, I just want to give you guys a quick alternative to the winter boredom. I know everybody's hibernating inside their house unless you're active. You know, I like to ice fish. I like to go hiking. I like to get out in the woods and just enjoy nature overall. Or I like to sit in my recliner with that wood stove cranking and basically do nothing. But I do get bored, and the winter time is when I find myself building more tanks just to sell them off or wish I didn't do that once the summer comes and I'm always outside and never inside. So a nice alternative to the winter MTS boredom and diverting that urge to get a new tank set up because you're so bored and you're stuck inside is to do a rescape. Now, people that watch my channel might recognize this 10-gallon tank that I've had for well over 2 years now. It's a very successful nano reef tank, as you can see. I have neglected the addition of corals as of recently. I don't think I've added any new corals to this tank in over a year. I concentrated solely on my 40-gallon, and that thing stocked completely. So it's about time I get fragging and add some corals to this tank. But all I did to get rid of my boredom, instead of setting up a new tank, which I'm dying to do, I'm trying to fight that off, is to just rescape this 10-gallon tank. And it's nice to almost do a complete, not a tear down per se, but a complete really overhaul, cleaning, clean the entire substrate, remove everything in the tank. What do you do, folks, is I did a 50% water change. I took everything out of this tank, all the live rock, all the corals, and put it in a bucket with a heater and a circulation pump, and I cleaned this gravel, stirred the gravel to the max, and then I let the filter run for 24 hours. Then the next day I came back, cleaned out the filter, all that gunk that had been sucked up from stirring up the substrate. I rescaped the whole tank, and corals are fine. This is fine for your corals because they're going to go without light for that nighttime period anyway, and they're in water with a heater and a circulation pump, which is basically your tank. So don't be afraid that your corals are going to suffer. I know it sucks that if you have to tear apart rocks that corals have grown over from one rock to the next, and you don't want to do that, but you can carefully do that. And so fight off that boredom and rescape one of your tanks. Freshwater, saltwater, rescape that tank. It gets you, get your hands wet, get your sleeves wet for that night. It gets you to have a new perspective on a tank. Maybe do something new with the tank. I'm going to start adding corals to new things. I really like this new scape. From my old scape, it was really just a regular, like, slanted rock scape. And I've kind of took all the rock out. I moved a lot of it over to here. And I switched this, like, kind of fork. I have this fork rock, if you will. And I really like this overhang here and how the fish can just go right underneath this and over this way. There's still a little cave underneath over here. And I like this open spot. It makes this 10-gallon tank look a lot bigger. And the clownfish, believe it or not, I know everybody's going to say, oh, you got 2 clownfish in a 10-gallon tank. Well, you know what? They're fine. The tank gets turned over plenty of time. And they are happy and healthy, and they eat. And they're not just surviving. They are thriving. But so let's cut this video off at under 5 minutes, and folks, get out there and get outside, enjoy the winter. Well, if you live in a lot of the United States, it's still really warm, so go get your golf clubs out and play golf. But if not, don't fight that urge. Don't go spend a ton of money on a tank and set it up and get all excited about it just to have spring roll around, and then you find yourself outside and have another tank to take care of that you really don't want to. So, this is Mike from Mass. Go get yourself a My Aquarium Box if you're bored. You want new stuff? You want new exciting stuff every month to play with? Get a My Aquarium Box. And you won't have to go spend hundreds of dollars on a new tank. I'm out.